Welcome back to Getting Hard Podcast. This is episode number 41. I'm your host, Tim Matthews. Tonight I am flying solo. I said tonight because I don't know if it's day or night when you're listening, but tonight for me, I'm flying solo. I'm doing this by myself, and I'm trying something new tonight. It's going to be a funky, weird one. Might not be as long as normal, but we'll go at it, give it a shot. I just want to talk to you guys because, always helps me get a load off my chest. I can blab for a few minutes. And of course, this makes me look even more crazy to my neighbors because I'm sitting in my truck right now talking to myself. And I'm going to smoke a joint. I'm going to sit here and drink my coffee. And it's going to be a good time. So, this is a kind of a weird week actually, because this episode, I'm going to throw it up there immediately after I'm done recording. So that means if you're listening to this when it comes out, it's going to be on a Monday. It's a weird day for me to put a pod out, but I'll do it. I'm by myself because basically my entire house had COVID for the last week and a half. And as they're all kind of getting over it, I have not got it. Somehow, I have got a horseshoe up my fucking ass, and I did not get COVID. I could not even start to imagine why that's possible, but I've never gotten it. I've never tested positive for it. I've never had a symptom of it. Couldn't tell you. It's kind of fucked up, to be honest. But anyway, so basically, I'm trying to avoid any contact with them at all because I don't want to I have to do podcasts with guests, and I also have to go to work, and I have to, just do stuff. And so you guys probably hate this paper. Anyway, it's just, I'll put it away. There, paper's away. There, sorry. I'm going to smoke this joint, and I'm going to chat with you guys. I got a funny story I think I can tell you. It's not very good. I'm not a good storyteller, but we're going to tell it anyway, and we'll just sort of see what happens. Now, I hope this mic is arranged in such a way that you guys can all hear me, but I don't really know. I'm not very good at this stuff. Maybe that's better. Yeah, that might actually be better like that. So, okay. That's okay. So I am, however, going to shut my truck off here because I don't want to waste my battery or my gas. Sorry, there we go. Dinging. Dinging's over. No more dinging. Alright, so get my joint lined up. So I hope you guys all had a good week. It's been a weird week because I'm trying to stay away from my family, so it's been sketchy and strange, but we're getting by, and Jen's going to be back. I presume she's probably going to be back tomorrow to do a pod with me, even if we have to do it from distance. We'll do it from distance. And so, therefore, this will actually be a week. We'll have 2 pods in 1 week. But, whatever. Who cares? It's all good. So, the funny story that I lined up to tell you guys today is actually about a show I went to one time. I would say, I can't get the exact date right now, but somebody had told me recently, I think it's 2009, we'll say. So I went to see Guar headline a show in Halifax, and that was the first time I had ever seen Guar. They've actually come to our town a couple times. I'm finding out beforehand, and I think after that they came again. And so going into it, I was not I won't call myself a super fan of Guar. One of those bands, always knew them, always knew who they were, always knew they were good for a laugh. They're hilarious, but also insanely talented somehow, and somehow also hard as fuck. So I loved them. They were kind of my jam, but not my jam to the sense where I would listen to them every day. So it came up chance to go see Guar. And of course, I wasn't going to turn that down, because that's, it could be a once in a lifetime opportunity to see a band like those guys at their level. So that's fine. Get the tickets. Fast forward to, I don't know, I guess probably had the tickets a month in advance, I think. Yeah. So fast forward to about 2 weeks later, and I find out that it's a Lamb of God show. Guar, and I'm trying to think of who else. Job for a Cowboy might have been there also. So that's just when I get the tickets, because my friend purchased the tickets for me. I had no idea the lineup. I just knew I was going to Guar. So I get the tickets 2 weeks before the show. Fuck, am I ever stoked now? Because I was, at the time, huge Lamb of God fan. I still am. I mean, I still think Lamb of God's cool. It's not all, everything they put out was amazing, but it was cool. But to be perfectly honest, the whole entire time, I'm thinking to myself, the highlight of this fucking show is to go see these alien fucks play their brand of alien thrash metal. So I'm mad stoked. I know from watching videos that their concerts are insane. They've got huge stage setups. It's gonna be wild. So we all get there. Me, my girlfriend at the time, I think a couple of our friends, my brother was with us, and then we met up with some people there. It was great. We all went in, had a great time. Overall, the night was a huge success. They had a beer garden inside. It was fun. So, now, fast forward slightly to the headlining show, which is Guar. So, I go out. I'm about 100 feet. No, not 100 feet. 70 feet from the stage. Cup of beer in my hand, like in a solo cup. Not like a bottle. They weren't stupid. They're not giving us bottles. So a solo cup of beer in my hand. Flat as fuck, probably. Gross. But whatever, you drink it. So, I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, this rush comes backwards towards me, and beer gets knocked out of my hand onto the floor. I don't go down, but I take a step back, and I realize at that point, I'm like, alright, beer's gone. I'm going into the pit. So I get into the pit, pushing around. It's fun. We're having a grand old time. You know, the true metalhead. In the true metalhead fashion, you go down, you get pulled up before you get a chance to even think about it most of the time. 9 times out of 10. There's the odd time where people get hurt at a show, but from my experiences, usually there's always people in there that are looking out for one another. So it was fun. We were having a blast. Then they get out the piss cannons or whatever the fuck they are that shoot green goo at you. And we're getting flooded. We're moshing around, sloshing around in like slushy, mucky floor that's all gross and full of fucking Kool-Aid and Jello or whatever the hell it is that's shooting out of this big cock that he's got up on stage. And at one point, I get hit in the pit so hard that somehow I was ejected from my shoes. Now, when I say shoes, we're not talking I was wearing some fucking like Reeboks here, okay? I had a pair of DVS Day One Songs with donuts inside. These were fucking orange and black, and I loved these shoes. So, I get moshed so hard that I'm literally ejected from my shoes, just like I was a rocket. I just went right out of my shoes. Fuck it, shoes are gone now. And I'm like walking around with my socks half hanging off my feet, still moshing around on this carpet floor. And this is making me laugh even just thinking about how dumb it was. Anyway, so then I'm walking around, still getting bumped around, moshing. Guar's up on stage, finishing their setup. And it was probably close to like their second last song. I got pushed, and I just, for some reason, I don't know what kind of forces caused me to do this, but I looked straight down, and when I looked down, there's my 2 shoes side by side, right where they were when I got shot the fuck out of them. And like, without even skipping a beat, I just stick my foot in each shoe, and I walked out to the back, and I went to the beer garden and grabbed another beer. There's like goo running out of my shoes as I'm walking. It was insane. They were completely destroyed. But you know what? It was perfect for me because I still got my shoes back, and it was wonderful. And it was a great show too. So that's it for my story. I'm not a good storyteller, but that was just a funny thing I thought about today. I was like, that's right, those shoes. I got smashed the fuck out of my shoes. That's how hard I took a hit. And then I found them again. And all was good. So, to keep on keeping on here, I am going to... I don't have much for shows to plug for you guys today, but I do have a couple that are really important. And one of the reasons I don't really want to plug too many shows is because I'm doing another episode this week. So if I do, they'll be all cluttered up. But these 2 are really important because this Friday and Saturday, if you're listening to this when it comes out, which will be tonight, Monday. So if you're hearing this when it comes out or shortly after, it'll be this week, November 11th at the Cavo. I think it's pronounced the Cavo in Moncton. The Ripcord's Not Dead Yet tour is on, and they have got Old Habits and Small Package with them. And then the following night at Gus's in Halley, we have the Ripcords there. So they're taking a shot down to Halifax, and with them they have Aparo, Squander, and the Meat Sweats playing with them. So that's going to be a killer show, both of those. Check them out. Ripcords are a crazy, awesome fucking punk band from way back, from the 80s. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out. They're fucking pretty sick. So now I can actually talk about the Halloween party that we had. So I didn't make it to both nights of it, but we had a 2-night Halloween party. I was talking about it here on the pod, but I couldn't really say much. But now I can because it's already happened. So we had a 2-night Halloween party that used to be an annual thing. Pandemic, of course, fucked it all up. But what it basically is it's a metal show that takes place at our personal jam spot that me and my band and then a few other bands and lots of our friends all jam down there. And it's kind of a chance for us to have a show without other... I don't know, how do I say this? It's kind of a chance for us to have a show where we know it's only going to be our friends there. Or friends of our friends. And it's a nice thing. It's kind of like we do it around Christmas time sometimes, but usually it almost always happens around Halloween. And it's an awesome thing for us to be able to. It's a more relaxed situation. We feel like we're at home. We're not at a bar. We're not rushing around to get to a spot, to get here, to get there. Everyone knows where it's at. We just go and hang out and have a great time. And there's almost never shit started. The only time that shit's ever happened there was because we were too loud and some fucking cunt upstairs calls fucking noise complaint bullshit on us at the cops and fucking whatever. Then they show up and it's a whole thing. But that's literally the only thing that's ever happened. Like, there's never been fights. They get snuffed out so fast it doesn't matter. We're not tolerating fights, especially amongst our friends. You want to fucking... That's how I roll anyways. If I was having a party in my own personal house, it wouldn't be any different. 2 of my friends start fucking fighting, I'd be like, well, you kids want to act like fucking children, go hell outside, fight on the street, and we'll sit on the deck and drink beer and watch that shit, because that's actually probably pretty entertaining, depending on who your friends are. So, anyhow, so we have this party. It's fucking amazing. The Halloween one's great, because we all have costumes, we all dress up as costumes, so I donned the same costume that I wore on the last episode with Steph, which was my my dead outfit. I didn't really do anything except a little bit of face makeup. Next year I'll put more into my costume, I promise. So anyway, short story long here. First night we had, I can't remember the exact fucking lineup. I know it was us, it was Turbo, it was Vormir. There's another band, I can't pinpoint it. I don't mean to be a dick, I just can't think of it right now. And it was so fucking fun. Every band there killed it. Vormir killed it. Fucking Turbo, I mean, they are turbo as fuck, like they say. They're fucking amazing. We had a great time. It was fun. Yeah, I didn't like most of the time I remember going there, I would drink a lot. This time I didn't, because I was there by myself, so I had to drive. So I had, like, you know, a beer. Of course, my good friend Dan Tasnick hooked me up with a beer. And so that was good, because I have to have a beer whenever I play. I think even if I quit drinking ever, I would still, like, if I went out, as soon as I went out to play a show, I would be like, yeah, I need a beer right now. So anyway, that was a super fun time. So big fucking shout out to Dave for putting that out, and all the bands for coming. Anybody else who put in any amount of work on that. Megan, I know you had your hands in on it. Bunch of people. So yeah, no, it was fun. Super fun time. Everybody was well behaved. Beautiful. We love all of our friends. And we can't wait for the next one. So I'm going to do a little hard report here. And yeah, a little quick news, John. So here is the hard report for episode 41. Metallica, Ghost, Lorna Shore, and more announced for Download 2023. It looks like people still think Ghost is a metal band, I guess. Sick New World just announced May 13th, 2023, with a sick fucking lineup led by System of a Down, Korn, Deftones, and Incubus. But check out the site, because there's a fuck ton of other amazing bands on this shit. Ozzy and Sharon have left the U.S. simply because she doesn't feel safe there anymore. All I have to say is, Sharon, a plane can be flown into a tour bus no matter where you are. And last but not least, Judas Priest has finally fucking made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I wish I had something funny to say about that, but I just really don't. Congratulations, guys. And that's been the hard report for this episode, folks. Don't die in the pit. So, yeah, I won't make this episode super long, but where am I at here? This has probably only been about 15 minutes into it, I'm guessing. 18 minutes, 20 minutes. So, this is probably going to be about a 30-minute episode. So, the only other few things I wanted to talk about was a couple of little things. I want to do some new music for this pod. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but that's the only hint I'm really going to give for that. I'm going to maybe there'll be more of a hint, but yeah, I'm going to piece together some new stuff, and it's going to be, you guys are going to love it. We're going to get new graphics. The graphics I have, I still am not 100% with. I want to change. I want to kind of not necessarily rebrand the pod, but just make things exactly how I want them to look, like a perfectionist. So yeah, you know, I don't ever smoke joints. This is the first time I have smoked a joint probably in at least a year. I don't know why I ever gave this up. It's fucking great. I always smoke the pipe now. I never bother with joints, but that's great. Anyway, this is, you guys, you hate me. I can tell. You haven't said a word. You're fucking just silent. Anyway, I'm sorry this episode is a little different, but it's brought to you by nonsense and fucking kerfuckery. That's what it's brought to you by, so. Cool, I'm gonna get a sponsor soon. Yeah, who do I want to sponsor? Nike? Hey, Nike, if you're listening, you should be a sponsor. Or what else do I like? Like weed. Weed, you should be a spot. What's like a weed company? Oh my god. Not like liquor. You can't be like, I'll have a bud. It's like, well, you could, but no, but like you can't just say like, I'll have a Keith's or whatever. It's like, what are you gonna have? What brand of weed you gonna have? I don't even know one. I think Edison's one. That's one I can think of. That's it though. Huh. Well, ain't that some shit? There's no like superstar weed companies. I guess Mike Tyson's weed company's pretty superstar. And I guess his weed's pretty insane. Like, it's enough that it will smash your face right off the fucking pavement. Oh my god. Now I'm starting to get high, so this is great. See, I have to smoke weed if I play on stage. And I think that's just because I'm old now. And I don't have, the ability to go back to the way I used to be, which was, 8. No, but anyway, seriously though, I go on stage. I will go on stage without smoking weed, and I'll do fine. It's not like I'm an imbecile. But I just feel so much more relaxed and less in my head when I smoke a little bit of weed right before I go on. Doesn't have to be a ton. A ton's not good either, because then you get too much in your head. You get more in your head, and it's worse. It's like then you're thinking about shit while you're playing, and that's just not good. When that starts happening to me, it's awful. So, yeah, but I like to smoke a little bit of weed. I also like to have a little bit of liquor. Like it's fucking nice to have a shot of rum or a beer on stage or something, because it relaxes me a little bit, I guess, would be one thing. See, I'm not even a big drinker. You ask anybody that knows me, I barely drink at all. I mean, I've had a fucking quarter of a bottle of tequila sitting on my counter for months. It's not something I really bother with. I do smoke weed on the regular, but yeah. But if I'm playing a show, I gotta have a fucking something. You gotta have a little bit of booze, loosen yourself up. Fucking, give yourself that little bit of carefreeness, I guess, is what you're looking for. And it really helps you perform. Now, I'm not advocating people should start drinking. But I'm just saying, personally, for me, that's kind of how I started smoking to begin with, was really when I was young, playing in bands. We would, and this is going to sound so Doors, but we would we'd be, set up all our jam stuff, and we'd sit there awkwardly looking at each other, and we'd be like, you guys want to go, do something, smoke a joint or something like that? And we would do that. And then, then it would loosen us up a little, and we'd go back in, and we would start to jam. And when I say jam, I mean it in the rawest form. I mean actual, we didn't know what in the actual fuck we were playing. And that's kind of how I started to perform, and I started to practice with bands and play, was like that. And then after that, we were just like, you know what, let's just skip the awkward part. We'll just smoke a joint on the way to practice, and then fucking go hit it. And it was never... what's the word? It was never shit. Why can't I think of this word right now? It was never hurting the productivity of what we were doing. I had to use hurting because my dumb brain couldn't come up with a better word than that. But it wasn't impeding. That's it. It wasn't impeding the productivity of what we were trying to do. It was helping it. If anything, it was saving us time. It was saving us that shitty moment, and it gave us that loose little ability to almost lose yourself and sit back, and instead of focusing so hard on what you're supposed to be doing, instead you just do something. And you flow, and you learn to flow, and you get used to playing with the people, and the weed really helped me with that. That's all I can say. Maybe there's people out there that are like, yeah, well, crystal meth did the same fucking thing for me, man. I don't know. I don't know if meth would really. I don't know. I can't imagine that would really help you in that area, but you never know. Yeah, call in if you're you like to do meth and fucking play music. I don't know. Is that even a thing? I guess. Well, you know what, folks? I'm gonna wrap this the fuck up. It's gonna be a shorty, but I was glad to blab my face off. I hope one of two of you has got a snivel at a couple of my stories or whatever it was I was saying. I don't know. I don't even know what I was talking about now because I'm so high off that joint that I just smoked. But I'm not really that high. What was I gonna say also? Yeah, I have a rec I wanted to give you guys, and it's not really heavy metal rec. It's a movie rec, but it's just one. I just rewatched it again, and I remembered how much I fucking love this movie. But it's called Dracula Untold, and for anyone who hasn't seen it, basically it's just a different rendition of the Dracula story. Kind of an origin story more than anything, I guess is what it is. Trying to see here who is the star. Luke Evans is the star. So you might, I don't know if, and the only other movie I know him from is actually The Hobbit. Yeah, he plays a character in The Hobbit. But anyways, that's my rec for the episode. Is that movie? It's a great action film, and yeah, it's got some good acting in it. It's a nice dark themed film. My whole family loves it, so maybe you guys will too. You guys can catch me on the web at I'm taking time away on Instagram and Slim Grim Tim on Twitter. And Getting Hard Pod, we are at Getting Hard Pod on every single platform that I think that you can find us on. If you can get to one of them and you can get to our link tree, all our shit's there. So go there, find us. If you want to chat, shoot us a message. If not, don't do that. That would be strange if you didn't want to and then you did. Send us a message. We would be still delighted to get your message. But anyway, I'm babbling. So, yeah, you guys have a fun time. We will talk to you on the next episode. Bye-bye for now. Stay metal.